What's good, guys? It's your boy Titty. And I'm back again with another video, guys. Well, actually, it's a live, guys. It's Christmas morning, and I wanted to go live to make sure you was prepared for Wednesday. So we got a few games going today. We got the Ravens and the Texans, and the Chiefs and the Steelers. So, guys, if you got any questions, what's going on, Travis Looney? I'm here for you. And it's not going to be a long live. Just wanted to make sure everything was clear for the people that's in the championship. So it's not a lot of decisions that you need to be making. It's not a lot of content that you really should be taking in to try to do something cute. All you need to be doing is starting your studs, starting the guys that you know. What I always tell you, dance with the girl that you came to the party with. If you got your quarterback, you here in the championship, you start them. Don't just because somebody dropped somebody like yesterday, you want to pick AR 5 up to go play him over your stud who's been balling out and getting you to the point that you at. So just play the best guys, and don't wait to after the game is over to say what you should have could have did. What you should have could have did is right now. So the decision that you need to make is right now, not after the game is over. If a guy don't score that many points, it's not your fault. If you play Keenan Allen in the flex, it's not your fault. If he don't ball out, you got to put him in the flex. Why wouldn't you play Keenan Allen today? What's going on, Big Will? I say Big Will in the house. Watch your mouth. Got Kelvin. What's up, Kelvin? Merry Christmas, bro. I see you, Eric. Eric says Flowers good to go. TD fire him up. Yes, I'm playing him. I'm playing him. Yep. Merry Christmas to you too, Big Will. Kelvin says, yo, Merry Christmas. Need your help to start. First off, Golf or Burrow? I would go with Burrow. Let me see. Let me look at the matchup. Let's see here. Okay, so even though the Bengals is playing against the Broncos, remember Jared Goff played against the Chicago Bears in cold weather, and he balled out. So don't let the Broncos scare you. I've been telling y'all all that all year. Just because you a top defense don't mean I'm gonna sit my stud. Joe Burrow is a stud. So if you've been playing Joe Burrow all year, you got to play him this week. I don't. That's the only way I see to do that. I'm not gonna try to say well, Golf can have a better fantasy week because he balled out last week and he's got to do this now. No, this is Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow's gonna be putting the ball in the air 15 times going to Jamar Chase this week. They got a small chance to make the playoffs. So I would play the Bengals, which is Joe Burrow. I'm going with anybody that's on the Bengals. That's the top star, like Chase Brown, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow. Second start, flex Debo or Zay. Bro, that's tough. Debo got a great matchup today. Debo needs to be in your lineup, and Zay needs to be in your lineup. But, bro, I guess I'm gonna answer your questions. Not saying to sit any one of these guys, but in a vacuum, who's a better play? I would say Debo. But I'm not telling you to sit Zay. Don't sit Zay Flowers. But Debo, man, with Grendo being a little bit nicked up, he's going to get some carries, but I believe Debo is going to get a lot of targets today, just like he did last week. This is Debo time. So I will go with Debo. Yep. Merry Christmas to you, Travis. Big Will says J-Mo, Abdullah Thielen, or Tajay Spears for the flex. Bro, I will go with J-Mo because this is the flex. Let's try to get a little cute in the flex position to get you some upside boom. Right? You should already have your studs, your running backs, your quarterbacks who's killing it. So let's put J-Mo because he got more upside. Abdullah is safe. Thielen is safe. Thielen also has some upside play too because of Bryce Young better play that he's doing. And just Adam Thielen being Adam Thielen. Tajay is a good play, but it's Tony Pollard it's all about Tony Pollard. If Tony Pollard sits, I would tell you to play Tajay. He would be a top 12 running back. But with Tony Pollard there, I still like Tajay, but it's gonna come down to game script. Whatever's gonna happen within the game. So I would say play Jameson Williams. I like him for his upside and as a flex position. Big Will says I have Purdy, A-Chain, Gibbs, Amara, Zay, Miami DST. Yeah, you good. That Miami DST, you good. A-Chain, Gibbs. You got Gibbs, number one RB right now because of David Montgomery injury. Yes, sir. Merry Christmas, Elisa. Merry Christmas. Chris says, I think Schultz can be a tight end one given the matchup. He plays nearly every down role. He does. But that's the play. Unless I needed to play him, I'm not playing him. Now, I'm not playing like Kyle Pitts. I'm not putting him in my lineup in the championship. That's right now. That's all I can remember for tight ends. I actually like Isaiah Likely over Kyle Pitts, and I like Isaiah Likely over Dalton Schultz. Just because Tank Dell is out, that don't mean that CJ Stroud gonna throw 300 yards and a lot of those targets gonna go to Dalton Schultz. CJ Stroud can have a terrible game this week. I think it's a terrible matchup for them. I'm nervous about Nico Collins. Hopefully the garbage time, or no matter what happens, but Lamar might try. They might try to blow them out. Now listen, last year they played Lamar them very well both games that they played last year. So I get it, but I don't like the CJ Stroud matchup. I don't like anybody in that game. Only person that I feel comfortable playing is Nico. I don't even feel comfortable with Joe Mixon. Now, if I have him on my team, I'm going to start him. So, yeah, Schultz. If that's the only guy that you go to, that's a great streamable tight end. If you need to stream a tight end, but if you already got some guys that's been getting targets, at least about 6 or 7 targets a game, I might rather go with them. I'll probably like to play Likely over Schultz. Rio Jameson, do you think Tank injury ended his career? He might play, but will he ever be Tank Dell again? I don't know. I doubt. I seriously doubt it. I like being glass half full guy, not glass half empty. I hope I'm wrong. Because I'm always, guys, I'm always keep it 100. I'm never going to just say anything just to say it because that's what people want to say. I think his career is probably over as far as him being an upper echelon guy. But would he come back and would they give him a chance to come out there and play? Yes. But I don't know if he's ever will be Tank Dell again. But science is changing every single day. So by the time Tank Dell come out of this, he might could come out of this and have a decent career. We never know. But I don't think his career will ever be the same. Mike Mary says Nico Collins about to give his fantasy owners a nice Christmas gift. I hope so, Mike. I hope so, bro. I love Nico. I drafted him the year that he broke out. CJ, which was last year. I had him already. I had already stashed him in dynasty leagues, but yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so. I just don't like the Baltimore Ravens are hungry. Lamar Jackson is hungry. That defense is hungry. Kyle Hamilton is playing great. That defense is not giving up those big plays like that anymore. They still giving up some yards to the number one wide receiver, but not like they're not scoring 200 yards. Or I said 200 yards. They're not putting up 200 yards. So I think Nico could be capped. Hopefully he's not. Hopefully he's not. Luis got to the finals. Streaming quarterback. Start Penix, Wilson, or Geno. I would probably start Geno over Penix, who's a rookie quarterback. You can't expect him to throw for 300 yards. He just gonna go out there and don't turn the ball over. When it comes to Russell Wilson, I like him and George Pickens, but I can't trust it. I need to see it happen with some magical numbers. The Steelers don't look good on offense. They look okay, but not as good enough as I would want to start him in my fantasy football championship. So I'm gonna go with Geno with the upside of JSN and DK Metcalf, and also Zach Charbonnet making plays. So I like that offense. Geno had a good output last week. Louise says got to the final. Okay, yeah, we did that one already. Calvin says thank you. Should I swap out Darnell Mooney for Zay Flowers? Yes, I would play Zay Flowers over Darnell Mooney. That's me, bro. Yeah, I know. Hey, it's a tough decision. If I'm wrong, you know what it is on Monday. I'm gonna tell you, hey, bro, I apologize, but that's the guy that I think this is the best guy to choose. Zay Flowers is special for this team, and they also what makes me even more comfortable is the Texans defense is good. That keeps Lamar out there. It keeps Zay out there. When they get up, they put Zay on the side and let these other guys come in and do other things. So with Justice Hill being out, they need somebody to go underneath and help these guys out. So I think Zay should have 7 to 8 targets today. And he's playing. That's with the ankle injury, and I mean with the shoulder injury. And I don't think it's big. I think they just knew what they're gonna need him today. So they was like, look, man, be careful with the shoulder. I feel good about Zay. Zay is a special talent for this team. Guys, we got 16 people in here. Let's get the likes up for Christmas. Come on now. This Christmas, get the likes up. Um, he says London is questionable, but they are saying he's going to be playing. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would play Zay. Even though Darnell Mooney might be the only guy out there, I'm still not counting on a rookie to hyper target him. Now, do I think Darnell Mooney can have a good game? I do. But Zay with Lamar, with a tough defensive matchup, that's a Zay prime and ready top 12 game. Just like last week, I think Zay had a great game. He just didn't get the touchdown. Melissa says TD made it to the ship in two out of three leagues that I need. In 2 out of 3 of my leagues, I need help for PPR. Brian Robinson Jr. or Ford or ETN or Isaac Garendo. Thank you for the help. Okay, so you got to make this choice out of Brian Robinson Jr. or Ford or ETN or Isaac Garendo. Thank you for your help. Uh, Brian Robinson's making me nervous because of what happened. But they need Brian. Let me see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. I'm going with Brian Robinson Jr., but the next guy would be Isaac Garendo. So that's who I would choose. You got some good options here. Brian Robinson Jr. is the goal line running back for this team. He had a bad outing. This guy had a great season. He's only had that one bad game like that. So I like Brian Robinson because of Jaden Daniels. They're gonna be worried about Jaden Daniels. So it's only gonna help Brian Robinson Jr. You just got to make sure that he's gonna get the snaps, and I'm pretty sure he will. As far as Jerome Ford, I like him, but DTR, I believe, as in right now, we're gonna have to wait. I think DTR might start again. So the Miami defense is not bad. They've been playing pretty good. So that makes me nervous about Ford breaking a 70-yard run. Is he gonna break a 70-yard run? I don't know. He did average like 5 yards per carry, so that makes me feel comfortable. So I do like Ford a lot too. ETN gonna catch a lot of passes. He didn't get the touchdown last week. It was Tank Bigsby. They are still in snaps from each other, so that's ugly. Isaac Garendo is clearly better than Patrick Taylor. And even though that offensive line is not playing great right now, Isaac Garendo is still talented enough to get you a goal line carry and score. They will run the ball a little bit more and be more precise with it with Isaac Garendo because of his talent. So to me, man, it's between Brian Robinson, Ford, and Isaac Garendo. I like Brian Robinson Jr., and then I would say Isaac Garendo, and then I would go to Ford. That is me breaking it down. If you want to swap them out any different way, I don't think it's a bad move. After what Brian Robinson did for you last week with the fumbles, that was terrible. So now, if you want to play what I would call musical chairs with him, I think that's it's fair. So if you want to go to Isaac Garendo or Ford, I would do it. I wouldn't go to ETN or any. I wouldn't go to ETN for him. All right, that's a great question though, Lisa. She says pick one. Okay, see, Brian Robinson Jr. Louis says half point PPR. We going Neighbors, McMillan, or Thielen? McMillan is the number 2 wide receiver. So if you believe in Baker, that's the guy. I like Neighbors for the upside in garbage time and being the number 1 wide receiver and just getting a bunch of targets. Thielen is a good play. All these guys are really good plays, man. And this is a championship type question, so I appreciate the question, man. This is a great question. But I will go with Neighbors. To me, he's always going to be in the game, always trying to get a big play, always trying to prove something. McMillan, he got it. Mike Evans is trying to break a record, so he's got to play second fiddle to that. Mike Evans trying to be 10 years, getting 1,000 yards, which is going to put him in the Hall of Fame, which is probably already there now. Thielen, Bryce Young is trying to win any way he can. This could be a Chuba game. He could throw it to Thielen a couple times, and he do good. He could also throw it to Coco or throw it to Leggett, who I think is coming back. So it's a lot of ways where Thielen can not get the targets that he deserves. Me, Neighbors to me always been the number one wide receiver, even though it's trashy. It's still a lot of stuff coming in, and you can pick out some stuff out of the trash that you can use. People do it all the time and make millions of dollars. So even though the Giants are trashy, I still like that his snap percentage. His snap percentage is better than Thielen. It's also better than McMillan, and he's going to get more targets than McMillan and Thielen. So I'm going with Neighbors, bro. Even in half-point PPR, he wants to score a touchdown, and I think it's coming soon in the next 2 weeks. Great question, Louise. Okay. Rio James says Walker is not getting the job done as the RB1. You think Spears is a good replacement? Only yes. I don't think Walker's going to play. He's got an injury. I think Spears, no matter what happens, probably would be a better play than Walker because of Charbonnet coming in. Probably gonna get a lot of snaps, even if Walker is healthy. Spears is coming. Tony Pollard is nicked up at this part of the season. They saw that last week that Tony just didn't have the juice, so they went to Spears at the end of the game, and he helped them come back. So Spears gonna get a lot of opportunity this week. So even if Tony Pollard plays, I still would play Spears over Walker because I don't think Walker's going to play. I don't think he's going to be healthy enough to play. Great question, Rio. Steve Warner says, I need a defense, Kansas City or Tampa Bay. I'm going with Kansas City. I know the matchup ain't gravy. Let me see. Here, guys. I got all these games on Christmas. Yeah. The matchup ain't gravy, but it's better to me than Tampa Bay. I just don't trust Tampa Bay defense. I think they've given up a lot of points. So I'm going with KC. KC probably the best defense in the NFL. Maybe not in fantasy. Big Will says, I know you said start your studs, but Anthony Richards versus the Giants today is tempting. Yes, he is. But who you got, Big Will? Tell me who else you got to play him over. It depends. Because I know you've been stashing Anthony Richardson for a while, so putting him in is okay, but you can't do it over like Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. Would I play A Rich over like Justin Herbert? Maybe. Excuse me. Yeah, the matchup is gravy. B Growing says, Merry Christmas, TD. Merry Christmas to you, B Growing. Appreciate you. Yes. FRM says, Merry Christmas. We pushing peace. Yes, sir. I agree with that. Kelvin says, thank you, bro. My line is finally complete. This line should win me my fantasy league. Also, at least I have B. John Robinson. Yes, sir. B. Growing says, need one for flex. Cup, Pickens, Ridley, or Kamara, Buffalo D, or Los Angeles Chargers D. Okay, so need one for the flex. Cup or Pickens. I got to go with Pickens. Cup. Guys, so we got to be okay. So what I'm telling you, Big Grown, you got to be okay with Cup booming because he done dudded you 2 weeks in a row. So you got to be able to ready to move on, and you can't worry about what he does today. Because this shit is crazy, man. You know how this is fantasy football. We know what Cup can get. Ain't none of us gonna be surprised if he get 10 targets, right? Because it's Cup. But if you done with that shit that he did the last 2 weeks, then you got to move on, and you got to go with Pickens, who got the upside coming off a hamstring injury. That's what you got to be on. And I don't got anybody that I can replace Cup with, so I'm keeping Cup in. But if I had to, and I got a really good team, I might sit Cup ass and go with Pickens for the upside, for the boom play, for a jump ball from Pickens. Between Ridley or Kamara, I'm going with Kamara all day if he's active. If they're gonna bring this dude back for a bonus, because he got to be playing for bonus, because why he out there? So I'm gonna go with Kamara over Ridley. I love Ridley. Ridley got a good, nice matchup, but it's Kamara. So I got to play Kamara in between Buffalo D and the Los Angeles Chargers D. Looking for the Chargers. Okay. I think I would go with the Buffalo's D going against Aaron Rodgers. I would go with Buffalo going against Aaron Rodgers. The Chargers got a nice game too, but the Patriots are getting better. They're a young team. That's why I've been starting Drake May in one league. And I'm in the championship. In a single quarterback league, I said, man, look, I drafted him in like the beginning of the second round because it's single quarterback league. I put his ass in there. I just been letting him play, and he been giving me some boom games, and he came through against Buffalo for me. It wasn't because Buffalo sucked. It's just because through the whole game, he ended up getting his through rushing and a couple touchdowns. So I think this is going to be a tough game for the Chargers because the Patriots are coming out. They got nothing to lose, and they're a young team. They got a lot to prove to show to their peers, I can play in the NFL. So that's a dangerous game for the Chargers. So I would go with Buffalo going against the Jets, where there's a lot of volatility going on with the Jets. Where Aaron Rodgers, is he coming back? I would go with that's what I would play the Bills. Steve Arnold says JMO or DK Metcalf in the flex position. I would go with JMO for the flex to get the boom. I think JMO at this point in time with the quarterback situation has got a little bit more boom. But don't be surprised if DK boom. But go with the JMO because that team is hot. Remember I told y'all at the beginning of the season. The next phase for this team was going to be JMO going down the field. And that's what's been happening. That's why this team is very, very good. Because they can beat you with the run game, they can beat you with the tight end game, play action game, they can beat you with the end routes with Amara, and then they can take the top off with JMO. So I like JMO. Now you might say, well, DK can do the same thing, yeah, but I don't like the offense is choppy to me. It's just wing it. Let's see what can happen. Did DK get open? He didn't this time. We'll try it again. Like I don't like that. It doesn't flow. So at the championship level, I'm willing to go with JMO at the flex play. DK probably is the name and the most safest play with the targets, but JMO got the most upside. So I'm just giving you an upside play. I don't know what JMO's going to do, but I would feel good about playing him in the championship. Excuse me, guys. Let me take this gum out. Oh, the audio keeps going in and out. Okay, thanks. Give me a second, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me go get my microphone. I don't want the audio going in and out. Give me a second. All right, thank you for being patient with me, guys. I should have got my mic from the first. To hold it, and that's fine. All right. Okay. Can y'all hear me? All right, there we go. All right. Okay, Tyler says thoughts on Pacheco. Um, to me, man, Pacheco is. Hold on, I got a super chat. Hold on, but I'm gonna get through this first. So Pacheco, I like Pacheco, man. They need Pacheco, but it's musical chairs now. That's why I didn't draft a lot of Pacheco. He's good. He's gonna be better in the fantasy. I mean, the real NFL playoffs. But it's gonna be musical chairs with those two guys. It's gonna be musical chairs with those two guys. I like Pacheco for a big play. I probably wouldn't play him unless I needed a flex play, and that's the best guy I could find. But I would probably fade Pacheco today if I could. Let me see. Let me find the super chat. Okay, hold on. Okay. Chris Vila, appreciate it, bro. He says, hey, AR and Knicks. I'm going with AR over Knicks, even though Knicks got a nice matchup. The running backs could play well in this game. Chris says Dowdle or Bixby, Connor, Downs, or Tracy. I don't know if Connor's going to play. Dowdle, I like Dowdle. He have a good game last week. So I would say Dowdle over Downs, but if you went to Downs, I wouldn't be mad at you because of what Dowdle did last week. So if you want to take in the data of what he did last week, that shows you like maybe he's not going to boom every time, even on a good matchup. So maybe you might want to play Downs, who is a great route runner, who's an evolving player, who could end up overtaking Michael Pittman as the go-to guy on the Colts. The Colts got a great matchup against the Giants. The Giants cannot guard Joshua Downs in the slot. So I like Downs a little bit over Dowdle. I like Dowdle as the running back. He's going to get the goal line opportunities. But Zeke came in and stole that touchdown. That kind of turned me off of Dowdle for the rest of the year. I don't like that type of shit, especially as a flex play guy. So I like Downs, man, for the upside. So AR and Downs. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate that. All right. Let me see here. Yeah, guys. By the way, I'm at my mother-in-law house too. I'm at my mother-in-law house. Dollar Bill says in the ship again this year. Njoku, Chig, or Likely. I'm going with Njoku. Um, Likely and Chig. I like all three of those guys. I gotta put some respect on Njoku. He played good with DTR, man. That shocked me. That shocked me. I didn't think he was gonna play good with DTR. Real James says you like Pat Fryermuth or Chig Okonkwo as a tight end. I'm going with Chig over Pat Fryermuth. B Growing says if Zach Charbonnet gets to start, would you play him over Cup or Pickens? If he gets to start, I would play him over Cup. If he gets to start, I would play him over Cup. Luis says, laughing my butt off, you can pick up a lot from the trash that can make you $1 million, bro. I'm definitely following your ass. Merry Christmas. Yes, sir. Thank you, bro. Got a super chat. Eddie Phillips. He says, what's up, TD? Merry Christmas. Need a flex, half PPR. Mixon, Dobbins, Bigsby, Michael Carter, or Romeo Dobbs. Okay, he says, I need a flex, half point PPR. You got to go with Mixon. I like Dobbins, but he's coming out off an injury. Bigsby is, they playing musical chairs. Michael Carter. Arizona don't look good, so I don't really want to play a lot of guys on Arizona. Romeo Dobbs is a good wide receiver. He says I know it's bad, but it's a 3 wide receiver in double flex league, and my starters are all studs. Right. I would go with Joe Mixon. That's easy, man. You got to go with Joe Mixon. I know the matchup is not great, but you got to play him because what can happen is at the end of the game, he got like 35 yards on 14 carries. And then Baltimore up by 14 points with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. They throw a deep ball to Nico, excuse me, and then Joe Mixon running in for 5 yards because Baltimore's kind of like tired and we've been winning the game. The game is almost over. I don't want you to miss those points. A lot of times, guys could be right or wrong off of one at the end of the game. He fell into the end zone, so you got to play Mixon. Ain't nobody taking no Mixon carries. Now, I don't think Houston got a lot to play for. I think they kind of already in the playoffs. I think they're just fighting for like a seed, maybe a better seed. But I'm gonna go with Mixon over Dobbins, Bigsby, and Michael Carter, and Romeo Dobbs. Appreciate the super chat, bro. Sean Bonds, what's up, bro? Yes, sir. Let's get these championships. Big Will, he says Purdy. Yup, you gotta play. There's nothing wrong with playing Purdy today too. Nigga says Bo Nix, Richardson, or Purdy. I'm going with Richardson over Bo Nix. I like Bo Nix matchup, but I'm scared that he might not run it in every time, and he might Javonte Williams or Estime, something like that. It might not be a pass and touchdown. They score so many different ways, so that makes me nervous. So I know Anthony Richardson, even though you might say, well, Jonathan Taylor, well, that's going to help AR. So long as they get to the goal line and AR can get a touchdown, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I think AR gonna get at least one to rushing touchdown, and he can throw for one, and that's enough for AR with the rushing yards. Just gonna be with that because he can have a 70-yard rushing touchdown. I mean, he's that type of athlete. So I like Richardson and Purdy, but I would play Richardson over Purdy today because of the gravy matchup against the Giants. Sean Bond says, Merry Christmas, fam. Yes, sir. Merry Christmas, bro. Dustin Poole says, McConkey, Lamb, Addison, Jennings, Thielen. I'm going with McConkey over. In full PPR, I'm going with McConkey. In half-point PPR, I will go with Lamb. Lamb got the shoulder injury. They're not going to run him out there that much. That makes me nervous. They don't want him rolling around on the ground with his shoulder injury. So I will go with McConkey, who's a PPR monster. I love Addison touchdown upside, but he don't get the targets that McConkey gets. Jennings, a lot of mouths to feed. Debo is back in town. And Thielen is a good player, but he just don't have the upside that McConkey has in the target ratio. Need 3 out of those? Okay, he says I need 3. So I will go with McConkey, Addison, and Thielen. McConkey, Addison, and Thielen. Lamb, if you think Lamb is healthy, you got to put Lamb in there. But I'm only reason why I'm sitting Lamb out because I don't think he's going to play that much with the Dallas Cowboys being out of the playoffs and having that shoulder injury. Nicholas Shannon says pick 2 RBs, pick 2 wide receivers, and 1 flex. I have got Collins, Brian Thomas Jr., Evans, Chase Brown, A-Chain, and Connor. So you said 2 running backs. It's got to be A-Chain and Chase Brown. I don't think Connor's going to play. And even if he plays, I might rather play Chase Brown and A-Chain. And 2 wide receivers would be Brian Thomas Jr. and Evans. And then my flex play would be Collins. MVM says, Merry Christmas, TD. Appreciate you helping us get to the championship. Let's do one more, G. Chase Brown, A-Chain, Brian Thomas Jr., Charbonnet, Kamara, Bucky. Please pick 3. I would pick Brian Thomas Jr., A-Chain, and I would go with Charbonnet if Kenneth Walker misses. But if Kenneth Walker don't miss, then I will go with Kamara. So it's going to be between Chase Brown. Okay, no, this is what I will. So if Walker plays, I will go with Chase Brown, A-Chain, and Brian Thomas Jr. If Kenneth Walker don't play, you know what? Charbonnet can't get in there. It's going to be Chase Brown, A Chain, and Brian Thomas Jr. Chase Brown, A Chain, and Brian Thomas Jr. No matter what, even if Kenneth Walker sits, you got to play Chase Brown over Charbonnet and A Chain. You know you starting Brian Thomas Jr. Bucky can't get in there. I'm sorry, not over A Chain and Brian Thomas Jr. Let's see here. Dollar Bill says coach defense versus Giants or Ravens versus the Texans. I'm going with the coach defense versus the Giants. MVM says Dolphins or coach defense. I will go with the Dolphins defense, especially if Jameis doesn't play. No, that's the main. If Jameis plays, I might go with the Colts. But if Jameis doesn't play, I'm going with the Dolphins. Jimmy says, "What do you think about the criticism Stroud is getting from crying after Tank Dell?" That let people talk. Everybody's different. Everybody's different. I don't mind that. He cared about his player, and you can't win for losing. That's why a lot of people say that I don't say TD emotional because I take up for that type of shit. Because I understand like that. I might not do what CJ Stroud did, but he cares. So if CJ would have said, "Hey, I ain't worried about that. I don't want to talk about Tank Dell. I got a championship to win." People would be like, "Man, you ain't worried about that, dude. I thought that was your best friend." People gonna always have something to say, bruh. You can't win for losing. So long as CJ Stroud goes out here and try to be the best quarterback that he can be, I don't got nothing to say about how he acted towards that situation. He didn't give up. He didn't say he wanted to go back in the game. Great question though. Sean Bond says, one in the flex, PPR, Jameson, Williams, Thielen, and Spears. Uh, Tyrone Tracy, Herbert, or A Rich. I'm going with A Rich over Herbert. And I like Jameson Williams in the flex. But if Tony Pollard don't play, Tajay Spears even over Jameson Williams in the flex. Tajay Spears is a top 12 guy. I would even put him over Charbonnet if Tony Pollard doesn't play. If Tony Pollard plays, then he's a fringe top 24 running back. So I would say Tajay Spears if Tony Pollard doesn't play. And also I like Jameson Williams. So if you wanted to get off Spears because Tony Pollard plays and go to Jameson Williams, I think that's a good move too. Um, Chris says flex Chigo over those guys. No, I wouldn't flex him over Downs. You could, you could. I don't think Connor's going to play, man. It's the injury. I gotta wait. We gotta wait and see about that. Steve Arnold says I need two: Jordan Love, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, or Geno Smith. I'm going with Anthony Richardson. I'm going Anthony Richardson and Jordan Love. Jordan Love over Geno Smith. I want to say Bryce Young, bro, but this is championship time. You gotta go with the known commodity. So the known commodity, bro, is Jordan Love and Anthony Richardson. Lucius says sit one, Shakir Worthy or Thielen. I would say, woo, woo. That's a great one. That's a tough one, bro. Um, I'm gonna go with Thielen. Let me tell you why. Shakir, they didn't win last week, but Buffalo, they got to get Shakir the ball. underneath. They got to go back to get him 6 or 7 targets underneath at least. As a full PPR, I'm going with Shakir. And if it's half point PPR, I would go with Thielen and Worthy. But full point PPR, let's go with Shakir, man. But listen, if you don't feel comfortable with me telling you to go with a guy who gave you 3 points last week, that's fine. Just go with sit him. But I would think that he would get the targets again this week because they didn't win that way. So I would probably tell you to sit Thielen because I think Worthy is a very important part of this team growing for Kansas City, and I think they're going to push the ball downfield to him, and he's going to get underneath stuff. Marquise Brown doesn't make me nervous. It helps Worthy out be Worthy. It helps him play the McCole Hardman role. That's what role is he playing. You know, McCole Hardman role was killing in the fantasy football playoffs the last couple of years, even in the real playoffs. So I like Worthy, and I like Thielen to be the best target for Bryce Young getting open. So I think Shakir could be the guy to sit. But if you wanted to play Shakir, I would say sit Thielen. Great question. Chris Villa with a super chat. He says Chig or Downs. Merry Christmas, bro. 30 point, 40 point. Yes, sir. I'm going with Downs, bro. I'm going with Downs over Chig. Let's see. Dustin says Merry Christmas to all. Jimmy says Pacheco remains in limited snap role. I think they saving him for the playoffs. You could be right, Jimmy. Yeah, man. I was pissed when they had Zeke on the goal line touchdown. Right. Toad says Ravens Chiefs money line. I'm going with the Ravens Chiefs, both of them for the money line. I agree with you, bro. Thank you, Toes. Steve says Hopkins, Hollywood, or McMillan. I'm going with McMillan out of those guys. I'm going with McMillan. I like Hollywood Brown as a second tier guy too, but I will go with McMillan. Yep, Kale says blessings, Merry Christmas. Dollar Bill says Joker has a new knee injury too. I know, man. You think that's going to affect him? I don't know. I don't know if that's going to affect them or not, man. It didn't. The hamstring injury didn't affect them last week, so I don't want to tell people to sit him and he go off again. But if you see that knee injury ain't doing right, you hear some information, always pivot if you hear information like that. Go down with the ship that you feel comfortable. If you don't want to play a guy with a knee injury, I feel that. I wouldn't either. I'm just nervous. I don't know if it's a bad knee injury, if he gonna play through it. I don't know what it is. So I'm starting him right now until I hear more information. Chris says Debo a star this week. Yes, sir. Might have to start over London. Right. Thoughts on London with hamstring tweak. I would start Debo over him. Debo to me is a top 5 wide receiver this week. The way he got bailed. I mean, Debo is he's on a mission. So I like Debo this week. Dobbs or Rashad White. I would go with Rashad White. Ice Cold Jones says Ertz, Kraft, Okonkwo, or Frymus. Hope you good, bro. I'm good. Let's see here. I will go with Okonkwo. I'm going with Okonkwo. You like the Steelers money line? I don't. Mason Rudolph or Stroud? I would go with. I hate to say it, man. I'm sorry, Mason Rudolph. I don't like the Stroud matchup. I'm sorry. It might be wrong, the wrong move, bro. But I'm just giving you my intellect, the best way I can. I'm going with Mason. Mr. Sleeper said, Merry Christmas, bro. Yes, sir. Father 3 says, good morning, TD. Merry Christmas. Salute, brother. We appreciate you. Thank you. Aziz says, good morning, TD. Starting Brian Thomas Jr. over AJ wasn't too bad of a move on to the ship. Bro, I ain't got nothing to say to you. All I know is Brian Thomas Jr. is that guy. I think that's, and this is what I want to say to that, bro. All I know is Brian Thomas Jr. You sitting AJ Brown, you going down with your ship, bro. Congratulations. I don't got nothing to do with that. I'm not going to sit AJ Brown, and I can't tell anybody or recommend anybody to ever sit AJ Brown. Hopefully you'll understand that. That's almost like Chick-fil-A saying, "Hey, good morning, how you doing?" That's all they gotta say that. And I'm still never going to sit AJ Brown. But Brian Thomas Jr. is him. He a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL right now. So you started Jamar Chase over AJ Brown. That's my opinion on that. Lost it last year. I'm back to it again. AR Bryce this week. I would go with AR. Aziz says Okonkwo and Joku this week. You know what, man? I'm worried about a Joku injury because I know he did have a knee injury, but I thought it was just precaution. So if he really got a knee injury, I don't know. So if he's not practicing and we don't know if he's gonna play on Sunday, I don't know when their game is. I think it's on Sunday. I don't know if it's Saturday or Sunday. Then Okonkwo would be a great move because Okonkwo gonna get 7 to 8 targets this week. But if Njoku is healthy and he just taking a break so he can be fresh for the game, then I would say Njoku. So this is gonna have to come down to the health of Njoku. Tony, I'm sorry. Tony A says, PPR, would you play Fryermuth for Dalton Schultz? I have Njoku. I don't think he plays. I would play Fry. I would play Dalton Schultz over Fryermuth. Craig Linden says, hey, you think Zay Flowers play okay? Yes, I do. Tron says Okonkwo Otten if he plays or Muth. I'm going with Okonkwo. Kale says Juwan Jennings, White, Stevenson, Tracy, Amir Abdullah, pick one. I'm going with Rashad White over Stevenson, over Tracy. I like Juwan Jennings. I don't know how many targets he's going to get with Debo playing the way he's playing. Steve Warner says, I need one, Bo Nix or Jordan Love. I'm going with Bo Nix over Jordan Love. Chris says, I started falling late. Do you do pre-draft rankings or list of guys not to draft? Yes, I do. And I don't do a lot of rankings, but I have a list of like, here's my 12 guys, or here's 5 wide receivers that you got to get on your team. I kind of compartmentalize it. I don't do a lot of rankings because the rankings are only different between like 1 and 2 points. So I don't do a lot of rankings. It's just guys that you got to get. And guys that I had on my list was like Brian Thomas Jr., Malik Neighbors, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry. I had those guys was on my list. They really wasn't ranked unless I was telling you the degree or what draft or what round to take them in your draft. The degree that I would take a risk on them. That's what I'm doing. So, but I might do a few little rankings and stuff like that between each week leading up to the draft. I might start doing rankings then. Guys, I gotta get my phone was getting ready to go dead, so I'm gonna try to get through some of these quickly. Mike Walker says, hey, happy holidays to you, man, fam. Rank these defenses: Colts, New York Giants, Dallas, Eagles, no hope, Hurts maybe, Seattle, Chicago. I would put the Colts first. Then I would put no Dallas. If Hurts doesn't play, it does bring Dallas as a top 7 defense. I agree with that. But I would put the Colts first, no matter what, even if Hurts doesn't play. And I would want to play Seattle against Chicago with garbage time king boy Caleb Williams. So I will put the Colts first, then I will put Dallas, then Seattle. Tron says, Merry Christmas, TD. I'm in the championship game. Cup, Abdullah, Trey Benson, or Michael Carter. I'm going with Cup over Abdullah and Benson. Yep, Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas. Steve Warner says, thank you, bro. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Yes. Joe Garcia says, Rico, Ford, or Sharp need one in the flex, or Cup, Thielen, MHJ, Mooney need one to flex. I will go with. I would play Cup over Thielen, bro. I would play Cup over Thielen. Either way, it's tomato. You could play Thielen over Cup, but I like Cup over Thielen. And he says Rico Ford or Sharp. I would go with Sharp over Rico and Ford. E11, I would go with Mahomes. Everyone's off of JD5 last week against the Eagles. He put up 44 points. Right. I wasn't off of at the end, I was like, you got to go down with the ship. But, bro, he did. He shocked the world. He went off. But I told people, you got to go. I'm never going to sit my stud guys for any type of matchup. But he was a guy that made me feel nervous. I did have him in the video. I said, don't sit him, but he makes me feel nervous. Alicia says, "T, I have Hurts full PPR. Do I play Murray Young in case Hurts doesn't play?" Yeah, because it's that concussion. I would go ahead and play Murray or Young. I would. I wouldn't wait on that because that's very dangerous. Yeah, I'm not big on Madison. He's just a guy that you got to play in case something goes down. Ben says Chief money line, Baltimore money line. I agree with you. Yep. And trying some Merry Christmas TD on the championship game. Yep, we did that one. All right, guys, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. Y'all guys be safe. See y'all later. Peace. Make sure let's get the likes up, guys. We got 40 people in here. We only got 21 likes. Let's get the likes up. Make sure you hit the like button.